I'm going to show you how the basic controller and view connection works with the ASP.NET Core Web Apps.so. I'm going to create a new project, and I'm just going to call this my controller view example. And I'm going to go ahead and start this project up, and then once I get inside the project, the first thing I want to do is remove all the controllers and well views so you can see how they all work. So I'll delete this home controller, and down in the views I will delete the views. So I delete all this stuff right here, delete the shared layout, and then I will delete these home views. Alright, so now we got an empty project. If I were to start this project up and launch it, you'd see that it would launch and it would just not work because there's nothing there. There's no page, nothing. Alright, so I'm going to close that. Now I'm going to go ahead and create controllers. So first I will create two controllers. So I'll create a controller right here, and this controller is going to be an empty controller, and I'll call this controller just the home controller. And this controller is tied to the home directory that I deleted the files out of. So down in the view you'll see there is a home directory. Now just so you can see how they're tied, I'm going to create another one. So I'm going to add another controller, and this one, instead of it being home, I'm going to call it stuff controller. Alright, so now you have another controller. Now under views, I need to create a new folder called stuff, because that is how these things are linked. So I go a new folder, and I add stuff. So now I've got this home folder. I have a shared folder and I have a stuff folder. Now in the home controller, I have a web page, so I've got indexed that once, and I want to create a second page inside of this. So maybe I'll have public action result, and instead of this being index, in addition to index, I'm going to add maybe links. So that'll be a page for web links or something like that. And I'm going to just do return view so it looks the same as the code right above it. It's just this one is links and the previous one is index. Now in the stuff, I also have an index. So I'm going to create a new one down here, public by action. Result in this one I will call NAV, because why not, and return my view. Now the names don't really mean anything. They're usually useful for finding these. Index is the default location, and then NAV is, well, it's just nav.so now under home, because the home controller has an index and a links. I need to create pages views for index and links.so. At home I will do add, and I'll add a view, and this one is going to be my index view first. So I just add that one in their empty view, and delete this up here. I leave that there, and I'm just going to put a little header here. So I'll call this one home index so you can see what it is. It's the home index. That's the whole thing for the page. And then in that same folder, I'm going to create another 1.so, another view, and this one will be my home links. Call this one links, add that, delete this stuff at the top, and down here I will add home links. Alright, so now I've got both those pages saved so they are available once I run it, they would actually show up. Now I need to create the ones in stuff, and if we look at the stuff controller, we can see that I had an index file and a nav file .so. I'm going to create both those views as well .so. I do an add view, and this one, isindex.so, I just keep it there. And I'll differentiate that one just so you know the difference. Alright, and this is also part of stuff, so I will give you h1 stuff now. Alright, so now all these things are tied together. Let me show you how. They all work .so when I launch this. I can look at these .by modifying the URL right here .so. Right now the home index is showing up. I can type that in directly with home index right here, and that will bring up the home index. I could also modify this, and the other one I had in home was links.so. I do home links. I'll see home links show up. I could also do the stuff index. That's the stuff index. And the stuff now.so, all you need to do to get to each of these is to create hyperlinks. Just so we can get our crown around and see them all .so from the home index, one will go ahead and make a couple of hyperlinks just so we can see how it all works. I'll make a little list, so list items right here. And a.ref equals, and I'll do a home index, and I will say home index, and I'll then go ahead and copy this and paste it a few times, and then modify it so you can see home, and this will be links. That will do stuff next and my stuff now, and then modify the text over here so it looks useful.so. Stuff now, obviously you want to have things nicer and make nice pages, but this is just to show you how it all works. And home links.so, this should show up on the home page. The home index page.so, I go ahead and save everything, run it, and then it all pops up, and I can then click on the links.so. Home index is where I'm at already. Home links takes me here. Go back home and then stuff index. And the stuff now, you can see how all these things are tied together with the controllers and the views.